to talk about her today. See you in a second. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Into My GT Entertainment, and I am Joel. Today's subject is Electra. So what we're going to do today is just kind of give y'all a full review of everything that we have done to her from day one to up till a couple months ago. So we're going to go ahead and kind of do that, and then I'll have a little bit of special news at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. But let's get on with Electra. See you in a second. Alright everyone, just to give you a little backstory on Electra here. So in 2013, I owned a Pearl White STI WRX. And I bought that because my wife had a BRZ. So we were kind of going through this whole Subaru phase and whatever. And like I said, I had it for about 2 months. Ordered it from the dealer, you know, got it the way I wanted it. And it was a nice car, don't get me wrong. But me being an older gentleman, I guess you would say, and looking at the back of this huge wing that comes out the back of the 13, 14 STIs, or I think it's the 13, I felt kind of odd in it. So one day, me and Pam were just kind of shooting the shit, and we went up to the dealership up in, well, before all that, I was looking, you know, just through the papers or whatever, and I blame Dude in Blue. So if y'all know David Patterson, he used to live around here. He has his 13 GT. So I started seeing the car Mustang again, and you know, I had the STI, and I was just like, okay, whatever. But you know, then one day I just started looking around, and then I had a couple cars that I took to Pam to show, and she wasn't kind of enthused with it. She didn't like, they look kind of basic and whatever. So, hold a thought. All right, so they look kind of basic. So one night we were just driving around, and she was looking through the internet, I believe. I don't know how we ended up where we ended up, but we ended up in Southside, which is south side of Richmond is pretty much how you get it. But we went over there to a dealership, and they had a bunch of Mustangs. We were there at night, you know, we got there fairly late. So, you know, they were about to close or whatever. So we did test drove Electra. Well, if y'all know the California specials, they come with like a stripe right here and a stripe down here at the bottom at the rocker panel where that one is. The wing and the appearance package. So we looked at the car, and I didn't know what it was at first, and it was late. So they said, here, take the car for the weekend, drive it, see if you like it, see if it fits your needs, you know, because the kids were still small. Sydney was, let's see, 13, so I don't know, she was in her younger years. So I'm not good at the math on the fly like that. So she said, go ahead, take it, fit in your garage, see if it works out, you know, carry the family in it, yada, yada, yada. So we went ahead and did that. So we got her home, and then we liked it. You know, we liked everything about it, and it fit more of my persona, I guess you would say, versus an STI. Not that there's anything wrong with the WRX STIs, but I think that's more of a younger generation car than it was for me. I think if I had just a regular WRX, it would have been fine. But, you know, neither here or there, not bashing anybody. Like I said, I just think the Mustang fit me a little better because I've owned them for so long, and it's kind of my wheelhouse. But anyway, I proceed on talking about this. Hold on. Okay, so we went back to the dealership, said, yeah, we'll take it, worked out the numbers, blah, 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 boom, here she is. So, you know, anybody that owns a Mustang that is in the cars is not going to keep a car like that long. And the funny story is, I know y'all have heard me mention it before, if y'all watch my videos, that I didn't know that I bought a California Special when I bought it. I saw it, you know, on the paperwork and stuff, and it didn't really dawn on me. I just, you know, whatever. It looked like any other old Mustang, just with kits and stuff on it. So I was reading about it at home on the couch one day, and I was like, well, shoot, California Special is supposed to have stripes. I never saw the stripes. So, duh, lo and behold, I came out here and looked at it, and they were black stripes on the car. Well, the thing is, the black with the blue, you couldn't see it too well. You had to actually literally walk up on it. It almost looked like ghost stripes on it. So that obviously got changed. I took those stripes off, went with the Tuco Special here, and went with the GT500 striping on the car and the lettering down at the rocker panel, because I think it makes it pop a little better on the blue. As you can see, we'll get to the hood in a moment, but it had the factory hood first, and that was striped, and then I moved up to the Cervini Stalker 2 hood, which is now striped too. All right, so one of the first changes that I did with Electra would have been the stereo system. I bought the car, and then as soon as I bought the car, I went ahead and yanked it to the Audio Express down here in Richmond, and said, this is what I want, A, B, C. I want to get it done. I was about to do it to the STI, but I'm glad I waited, because obviously I would have had to rip all that out, and then blah, 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 and here we go. So what I did was the stereo with this. The whole system in this car is a Focal system. Not to get into specifications or whatever, if y'all need to look it up. But with the Focal system, they believe more in clarity. It's a French company. They have odd sizes. My subwoofers are not 10s or 12s, they are 11s. Why they decided to pick that, I don't know, but they're 11-inch speakers, which is fine. They sound great. Anybody that's seen the car knows about the stereo in it. It's all in a plexiglass box. It's got lighting in the back. I'll show you that here in a moment. And like I said, it's one of the nicer things that I put in the car. The whole car itself is dynamated. Roof to bottom to everything. You hear that? I hope that comes across in the camera. There is no tinny thug. Let me show you what I'm talking about over here in My Little Pony. Because with My Little Pony, sorry for the wind, there's nothing done to this. You hear the difference there? With the doors and stuff. You don't hear that with Electra. And the thing about that is, the sound stays in the car. I could have this thing thumping and you won't hear it outside here. I don't have no license plate rattle. I don't have any of that craziness going on with the car. So that's what the stereo. Let me show you the shot of the back real quick. All right, guys, this is what it looks like. just not to get into certain details. If y'all want to know more about this, just hit me up in the comments and we can have a discussion. Like I said, it's Rockford power to it. The amps are, I got a 1000 on one side and 800 on the other. It's all done in plexiglass and custom fitted to the trunk of the car. I do have a pop-up lid right here. It breaks up right about there, so I could get to the trunk area. There is a tire in there. It'll never come out, but I needed access so when I did the supercharger. But not neither here or there. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But this is what it looks like on the trunk end of the side. And like I said, the lights themselves are on the trunk switch, so they will turn off. If I can show you. See, they are off. And they will turn on when the trunk comes up. So I don't ever have to worry about turning them off because they will turn off themselves. See you in a second. Alright, one of the other first things that I did to this car was the exhaust system. I ended up with the Corsa Extremes, but I did start off with the Flowmasters. The Outlaw series. And let me tell you one thing, buddy. Once you get older, I guess, I don't think it would have bothered me so much when I was younger. Hold on real quick. I don't think it would have bothered me so much when I was younger, but we took a trip to pick up Pam's car, the other California special that we own, and we took it in this. Had the stereo, whatever, we were having a good time, but at $2,000, this thing would drone so bad, and I think the speakers amplified the drone. I swear they were going through the speakers of the subs. It sounded like we were going through a fan for hours. I couldn't take that. I couldn't stand that anymore. So I went ahead and turned around and sold those because, like I said, they weren't working for me. And the reason why I knew I've heard them on other cars and been in other cars, so that's how that ended up. So like I said, I think we actually purchased it for Pam's car. I had those on her car first. And doing that trip with this car prior to is kind of how it made it work out. But I thank Pam for wanting a better set because that made me want a better set. And there is some proof in the pudding. The Borlas, the Corsas, the non-droning ones, they're still loud and great sounding. But, you know, if you're doing everyday driving, which I used to do a lot more, you know, back and forth up and down the interstate, that kind of got annoying. Not so much now, but hey, it's a quieter setup and it does sound good when you're still driving. So let's say it's a good plus for the Corsas. All right. Another thing that we did when we first got the car is tint. Those are my kind of go-tos, is tint, exhaust, stereo, and wheels. Wheels are a never-ending story with me. That's a whole different subject. As you can see, I got the CS1s from Carroll Shelby. Drake Automotive is the people that sell them for them. So I like this style. They're great. That's a 20 by 11 inch rim right there. It fits the 305 perfectly. So like I said, but go back to the tint. Hold on. So the tint gets done by a buddy of mine called Steve Huddle down here in Richmond. He has his own company. I'll throw it up here somewhere. And he does all my cars. I need to get with him because he needs to redo some of the stuff on the Explorer, but that's not neither here or there. So I went with kind of a legal setup. People don't really mess with me too much with this. It's 20% all the way around. And like I said, I haven't got into the whole doing of the windshield and stuff like that because I could barely see sometimes, so drocking out my windshield, then I won't be able to drive at all. So that's one of the other things, and as you can see, there's no bubbles or mistakes in my thing, and this tint is pretty much, let's see, I bought it in 13, we're in 2020, so, you know, 7, 8 years old now, 7, whatever the math is, but yeah, and like I said, it still looks as good as the day that he put it on there, so no issues with that.